Hello, everyone. My name is Clarissa. I'm a local Tucson mixed media artist.
I'm Viviana Bravo. I am a Texas-based artist here in Galveston County.
All right, and today we're just gonna go over some questions for Thirst for Humanity.
Do you want me to ask you first?
Sure.
Okay. So what drew you to Thirst 2022?
So for me, I just think it's important that we continue to use our voice within our community, and just have conversations about, what's really happening and going on. And I feel in doing so, we can remain organized, and there's power in using our voices and
Mm-hmm.
just listening to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I mean, especially as artists, our interpretations can vary for sure. Some of us are much closer to the border than others. We get to see like firsthand the effects of it. Some of us are immigrants or migrants ourselves. So the perspective that we put into our artwork is also really important. And like you said, like it keeps us together, like the community, right? Like keeps conversation going.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So what influences your work, and what are your favorite mediums?
I feel like my influences have been like in flux. So for the longest time, I was so I have these like two big fiber art pieces, and my influence for that was, of course, just during the Trump administration. It was mostly just a way for me to just like put something somewhere because I had so much like pent up energy and like anger and frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but over time, it's kind of changed because I have to also acknowledge that like I'm a person and I can't just always be like one thing all the time. So I've been trying to make things that are more playful and have more, I guess, much lighter.
Mm-hmm.
But I also just I want, despite like all the misery and everything that can come out of this, I have to believe that there's for some people that this, changing, making that trek, that enormous journey means something in the end. Like it has to, right? Like it has to be something because it did. We didn't do like my family. We're immigrants and we didn't have like this. We didn't travel as far because we're from Mexico. But for us, it meant a lot just to be somewhere where we can. My parents can provide for their children, and we were raised in a home that we never had to go without. So my current work is kind of just focusing on more like folkloric terms. I've been making little dolls and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
it's been easier for me to express myself in that way, and just believing that there's got to be something more. Like
Absolutely.
there has to be hope. There has to be life and joy and something also.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, I've seen your work. It's very unique, very beautiful. I think I see some of it in the background now.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have them hanging right there. I think one of them is the one that's gonna be on sale. It's the one at the top.
Very
Right.
nice. Yeah, I have a few here too. Um, kind of see that
Oh
one
yeah.
right there.
Uh-huh.
And
That's
then
cute.
some. All this is mine.
That's
So
cool. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, definitely agree with what you said. What inspires me, my culture, my family, my experiences, and I think I really started, just diving in at the beginning of the pandemic as well. Just trying to, stay focused and um, just exist, stay alive. Honestly, like just
Yeah. No, absolutely.
my mental health, it wasn't doing super great, and I wanted to redirect all of that, like you said, pent up frustration, anger. There's a lot to be upset
Mhm.
about. There's a
Yeah.
lot happening, and I think it's just so powerful when we can, get together as artists, as people, as a community, and and put that somewhere,
Mhm.
and share, you know, those feelings, um, and just use our voice.
Mhm. It's also it's important to be someone that speaks for people that don't really can't have a voice, especially when you have the privilege.
Exactly.
But it's also it can be draining, you know, it can be difficult. Always having to absorb that and see it every day. You know, it's
Yeah.
important to step back every now and then, you know, give yourself some time. And because another thing is too, like you're not really good for much if you're just like, you know, just burnt out completely, you know, because you still need to prioritize yourself for sure.
Yeah, honestly, that's where I've been at. You know, not to take too much away from the content, but there's a lot I could say just artist to artist. You know,
Uh-huh.
maybe we'll save that for another time. But absolutely, yeah. I think just, you know, remain trying to remain authentic to the purpose.
Mhm.
Sorry, there's something in my eye. It's just bad
It's
timing.
okay.
But yeah, trying to remain authentic to your purpose, and you know, just not get caught up in like the money aspect. Like I'll just say
Oh
it, you know,
yeah.
like I did a lot of art shows, and while I'm very grateful and it is a privilege to just,
Hmm.
yeah, like you said, use my voice. You know, I was born in Tucson, and
Yeah.
that's part of the main reason why I want to do this too, you know. But absolutely, you're no good to no one if you don't put yourself first, if you're not, you know, focusing on yourself as well, your family, you know, like your
Mhm.
needs, and just getting rest, and you know,
Yeah.
just normal stuff.
Most
Definitely,
normal
yeah.
stuff you have to do to as a person. Gotta make sure you
Yeah.
eat and drink water and all this other.
Yeah. Talk about sleep, and we both didn't get sleep.
Yeah, I slept like 10 hours. Like I was knocked out.
Oh, dang. Okay. Gotta take a note from you.
I'm a great sleeper, very good.
It's not me. I have to have so many different things in order to sleep, like sleep aids, like a mask, and
I tried that, like a little like band, but
yeah.
I couldn't like because the speakers are like by the ears, and I just couldn't really
Well,
get into it. But I'm good. I'm good at just like knocking out. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Move
yeah,
on
I
to
know. I'm sorry. I digressed.
okay. Um. Oh, I didn't even answer favorite mediums. My favorite mediums are I do a lot of watercolor, and I do a lot of fiber art. And fiber art can entail a lot of stuff. Like it can be yarn, felting, I'll watercolor on my work, um, like regular embroidery thread, sequin, beading. Like it's a whole category. The thing I haven't done recently though is weaving. I haven't done much of that,
Mm,
mostly because I don't have a loom, so and they're expensive.
mm.
But yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, I have always wanted to try embroidery, but much respect to you. I know it involves a lot of patience, all of it.
I don't know. I think it's like a um maybe some people are just like I have no problem doing like monotonous stuff. Like I'll sit for hours and just do, you know, just over and over again. I have no problem with that. But some people that's like unbearable. It's like I can't like they're just like I have to be doing something. I have to go somewhere else. Like I can't just like stick in one place. But I have no problem doing that. I can sit in one spot for hours and just like not even worry about it. Can you do that? Are
I
you
don't
that
know. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm an artist, so like, yeah,
uh,
to an extent. But
yeah.
I've tried like sewing. You know,
Mhm.
honestly, like sometimes I'll be in a state of mind where I just like I'll pick up a project and then won't complete it. I'm that
Yeah.
person, and then I'll go to another one. So like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be crocheting, watercoloring,
Mhm.
doing acrylic, like
Mhm.
doing like a stencil all at once. Like, I
It's
think
good
it's
to have
nice
all
though.
that though. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Uh-huh.
All right, so next question here is, I mean, I feel like we kind of already touched on this, just like what do we feel about the current immigration policies? Um, but yeah, I just really want to raise awareness and fight for just a fair treatment, you know,
Mhm.
um, for anyone just migrating, you know, across
Yeah.
any border. You know, we just want basic needs met, you know, like sleeping conditions, adequate medical needs, you know, sanitation, food, water, you know, just like we were saying.
Um I'm reading this book about uh I have to read like a little bit at a time because it's like a really dense like like it's nonfiction, so it's, you know, it's a lot of information, and it's about migration and migrant labor in southern Texas. And as I'm reading this book, like there's sometimes like a politician from like the 1850s or something in Texas will say something, and then I'll be like, I can literally just change the name of this guy and put in like Greg Abbott or Ted Cruz, and it would be exact. Like, it's so sad that it's just like it's like a tradition. And something that has, it really bugs me is that so much of like our value as migrants is based off of our labor. And it's just like, it's just, it makes it, like in the beginning it made sense because people, you know, needed to come to send money back, but now it's like that's like our only labor. DACA recipient, and like I'll hear about, you know, like I think the narrative's kind of changing, but I'll always hear like, well, you know, all these DACA recipients are providing so much tax money and they're, you know, working and doing all this, and it's like why does it always have to be tied to like a dollar amount? Like why can't we just exist here? And like why can't that just be enough? And another thing that it's fun to me is like as soon as you decide to start that journey, become a migrant, it's like your autonomy is just taken away from you, like just right away. Your body's no longer yours. Like all of a sudden it's like for whatever the government of, you know, the countries you're going to pass through decide that it's going to be. And it's so sad, but I just, maybe one day, hopefully, you know, more people will start to see that our lives are our own, right? Migrants' lives are their own, and it's not just for labor. It's not just a body, you know, it's a person. It's an entire human being. Yeah. So
I just want to say, you know, it's an honor to talk with you, and I'm just glad that we have this moment that we can, you know, share and speak. And I do feel like, you know, if people, you know, hear everything you're saying, they go out and they do the research and they listen to their other community members, you know, with similar stories. I just feel like that right there is even so just doing a lot, you know, listening. So I just want to thank you, you know, for taking the time. I know we're not done yet, but I just wanted to say thank you. I just hearing what you're
thank
saying.
You for taking a pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It just touches me.
It's good. I don't I don't have, at least I want to think it's because maybe it's the community I live in, or I don't know if it's just like how the privileges I've been able to have, like going to school, university. I can't think of really meeting very many people that were undocumented like myself. So I even though like I talk about all these things, I always feel like I still have like some kind of like detachment in a way, because I don't know very many DACA recipients. I don't, or at least there's, you know, I may know some more undocumented people, but for us, it's still like, it can be risky mentioning it, especially, you know, in Texas. So I always kind of feel like I'm not really quite there. So for me, that's another reason why I liked being part of Thirst, because it's like, well, I want to be able to like join in somehow and give somehow. So I mean, that's a big reason why I'm here too, for sure.
Were you a part of it last week?
I was, yeah.
Very nice. This is my first time being a part of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed a lot. Cassandra's handled it very well, I think. Definitely a lot more of us this time. Some changes have come along, but you know, I just go with the flow. Like whatever she decides, like okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, she did an amazing job. I looked at the website and it just came out so incredible. It's really just inspiring to see all the different art and people's backgrounds, you know, very touching, very powerful. See, I'm like, I feel like we answered.
Next one.
Let's see. Yeah, so whatever you feel.
I like this one. What do you hope your art conveys to an audience?
You know, again, kind of like we were mentioning earlier, I do go back and forth on this one, just like is the meaning, just to exist? Like, because it's just nice to create aimlessly. But I
Mm-hmm.
do enjoy having my art having purpose. And in general, I just want to inspire others to like organize, wherever their value it may be, inspire people to just use their voice is that's what's inspired me is just seeing, the different artworks and how people get their message across. It's just different perspective and a lot of it I wouldn't have guessed to use the creativity in that way.
Mm-hmm.
um, and even when I do my art shows, I really like to listen to people and hear, what they're creating in the moment.
Yeah.
I think it just helps us feel connected.
Mm-hmm. It's well, I think it's never a bad thing, or you're never lacking if you decide to do something just because it's pretty. Like, this is just pretty, I want to do it. Uh, but I don't know, I feel like you can make something one year or one week or one day, and then the next day you're just like, actually, I think this is the better meaning behind it, because you also
Mm.
get to know yourself better over time. For me, I hope that my art just makes somebody feel like, um, I guess, just joy for a moment. My favorite comments to get on like my Instagram posts are people saying like, "Wow, like this is so beautiful! Like, I can't wait to see more." Like, it's just, if I can, like, for a moment, right, especially in the environment we're in, and
Yeah.
the United States, make somebody feel like, oh, like, this is so pretty. Like, I'm so happy I'm seeing something like pretty right now. Like, that's more than enough for me. I think that's a big deal, and it's also, for you as well. It's a big deal for you to make your artwork, because I love seeing people see something like, because it happens to me. Like, I'll see artists make something, and I'm like, God, that's like making me want to do something. So there could very well be several people that have come across your work,
Mm-hmm.
and they see it, and they're like, wow, this is making me want to do something. Like, being able to be a motivation for somebody else is such a big deal too.
Yeah, to be honest, like I feel like I've been struggling with that lately, like just
Mm-hmm.
creating to create.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, I don't mean to go too off topic, but like
No,
I
it's
just
okay.
I feel like probably soon it's best if I just take a break,
Yeah,
just to kind
absolutely.
of reconnect with my values in general,
Mm-hmm.
but relating to art because yeah, for a while there I was pretty wrapped up and not necessarily for bad reasons, just
Mm-hmm.
that it's exciting, like
Mm-hmm.
it's new to me, like I've been an artist my whole life, truthfully, but like actually trying to sell art and I mean they don't tell you, right? You gotta advertise, you gotta
Yeah,
like you
you're in
gotta
charge
do
of
like
every part of it. You're your media manager. You're doing your taxes if you're
yep,
selling.
yep,
You're
yep.
doing all
You
this
gotta
stuff. Yeah, you're
20
not just.
different things at once. And it's easy to get wrapped up in that. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I feel like that's what happened. Again, not necessarily in a bad way, right? It's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. But like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think the next chapter of my art, that's what I would like to do is just focus on how can I get back to myself, because like you said, it all ties in. If you're not being truthful to yourself, just with sleep and why you're
Mm-hmm.
creating and the purpose, like it's gonna show, and people are gonna see that if the purpose isn't authentic, in my opinion. And I feel like that's us as artists. That's I don't want to say jobs, but like that's why we do what we do, right? Like we keep it real.
We just have to do it. We just have
Yeah.
to. For me, it really helps out if I'm feeling drained to go back to nature.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of books. Like, I just bought an old book about old trees. I'm drawing trees. There's a nature reserve, kind of a bit, maybe like a 20 minute drive from my house. Um, but I pull a lot from that, and it helps
Mm-hmm.
me a lot. So I don't know if you have a place or a thing that grounds you. So that's
Yeah.
always good to come back to.
Yeah, I'm big on nature. I mean, just getting excited. I'm like I'm set up on my bed, and like right across is like I'd show you, but like I don't want a recording of my room in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
state. But yeah, it's the, oh man, I think they're called Enchanted Hills. It's like right, I probably shouldn't say too much,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't have said
I
that.
want
Oh well, it's
everybody
okay.
to
But yeah, it's beautiful. And Tucson, if you haven't heard, we have some of the best sunsets.
know.
Is the mountains and stuff. But yeah, it is nature always resets me, definitely brings me back. Nature, music, just I think what it is not feeling the urgency or need to do anything. That's what nature makes
Yeah,
me feel. You just exist.
absolutely.
You're there. You can
Mhm.
become a part of nature in that moment. So yeah. You
Yeah,
definitely will have to send me that those two book titles you mentioned, if you don't
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
'Cause I've been
Uh, I it's mostly just like I think it's from like National Geographic.
mm,
Um, just pretty pictures are a big deal for me. There's I've been I I sometimes like to say like I don't think I've ever had art block, and I think that's because I always have something to be like excited about. I don't know, like even if I've already seen it a bunch of times, it still just it doesn't fail to like
mm,
pull me back. But I guess I don't have art block in the way where it's like I'm sitting at my desk and like I don't know what to draw. It's more like um I I know that I need a pause, and eventually I'll have this like overwhelming urge. I'm like, okay, I need to embroider something. I need to draw something. I need to paint something. And it'll just come back like a force. But in the meantime, it's always good to just have that like an immediate resource nearby that like just always does spark something in you, even if it's not inspiration. Like it's just something that fascinates you, it gets you excited. Um, so I have a lot of books about this guy called I think it's Charles Fraser. He goes around and he takes photos of these very old traditional folkloric like dances and traditions
mhm,
and whatever from like he did one from Cameron, he did one from Japan, and another one from Northern Europe, and just people in these like ridiculous outfits, costumes made out of like hay and fur, and I always find that so inspiring.
mm,
Even if I don't feel an urge to make something after I look at it,
yeah,
I it's still nice to just have that feeling back of excitement. So
yeah,
it's good
definitely.
to
Very cool. Like shoot, I'm inspired just hearing that.
have. Yeah, I mean, keep things handy close by that you just look at and you're just like, yeah, this is getting me like ready. I don't know.
Oh yeah. All right, let's see, where are we at? Mm,
Do you want to ask the next one, or do you want me to?
whichever. I'm just trying to figure out which one to do next. I feel like we answered a lot of them in other questions.
Okay. I mean, we can stop whenever you want. So
I think the last thing here is I guess if we wanted to talk about what do we want people to take away from this project and what do we I think that's about the last one.
the last one, what do you take away from this project?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I'm more inspired and happy with the fact that because I mean I don't know if my artwork is going to sell for this, but I'm more happy about the fact that there's so many people that care.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been so nice to see just how many people care. Um, Even when, things don't feel as hopeful or the world doesn't feel as kind, it's always nice to remember that there's always people there. And something I like to tell myself is that nobody reports the good news, because the bad news always gets the most clicks. Nobody reports the good news. Despite something really tragic happening, I think it's always a good thing to remember. Like maybe today, like some kid was playing some sport and they finally like won a game. Like it's just little things like that. Like I have to remind myself like there's probably a lot of people right now having a good day. Um, so I like that. That definitely like helps me like stay in a more or less positive mindset, is remembering that nobody reports good news. So what I'm taking away from this is that there's a lot of good people, for sure, a lot of good people that are willing to give to something bigger than themselves. Mhm.
Yeah, definitely is powerful to see that, how many people care. It's touching, and yeah, I do agree with what you're saying. I've been thinking that a lot lately too. Just again, uh, not just an art break, but a social media break every now and then, right? We
Mhm.
should
It's good to have, yeah.
probably
Mhm.
do one. I know for me, it helps me because, yeah, it's easy to get wrapped up in the urgency of what's going on, and
Mhm.
we lose focus of ourselves, and we're in like a state of panic, right? And we're not going to be good to no one, our communities, if it's like that. And I think too, just remembering that, we're allowed to exist, right? We're
Mhm.
allowed to just have our own
Yeah.
memories and experiences and our own, um, just good times, like it doesn't have to, like what you're saying, love ourselves first, and have those moments for ourselves to be able to just breathe and exist. And
Mhm.
to last night, I just, that's what I did. I just laid in bed. I just existed. I didn't make plans. I didn't
Yeah.
rush to do anything.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have to be like, you have to be productive. You have to do this.
Yeah.
And that's so
Yeah.
nice.
It takes, I've been trying to train myself, to not think that way, because I just graduated with my bachelor's in December. So like for
Congratulations.
years, thank you. For years, I was always on schedule. Like you have to do this by this time, you have to do this. So it's like
Yeah.
trying to like rewire my brain to just be like, I don't have to do anything. Like I'm not on anybody's deadline right now. Like,
Hmm.
okay. Um, so it's been just like I've been very good about just taking days, like whole days where I'm just like, I'm just gonna sit here in my bed because like I'm like my body is tired and I'm like I'm just gonna stay here in
Yes.
bed. I'm not gonna embroider. I'm not gonna paint. I'm not gonna do anything. And like there's always like a little nagging voice. It's like you should be doing something, but it's like no, I'm not on a
Hmm.
deadline. I don't owe this time to anybody else. Like I can just be here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, looks like we are getting kicked out.
Okay.
I don't even know how long this is going for.
I don't
Might have to
know.
do some
Started at
editing.
3. It was like 30 minutes, I
Oh,
guess.
okay. Well, again, it's such a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.
You said you're in Texas, right?
Yeah, I'm in Texas.
Very nice.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Do
Thank
something
you.
or don't do something.
I'm just doing laundry.
Oh, oh, that sounds right. Adult life. I'm gonna go eat right now.
Yeah,
Um,
get some nutrition.
well, let me know if you ever want to collaborate on anything. I don't know how we would do it, but I always offer that. I love to collaborate with other
Yeah.
artists. So,
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
but it was a pleasure talking to you, and I'm honored that you took the time to speak with me and be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for setting this up. I'm usually not the person that sets a thing up, but like I'll show up if you want me to. I'm not the kind of person that's gonna take charge, and do the whole thing, but like I'll be there.
I mean, low key me either, but like I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna be that person today because but
Sorry.
no, 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 no. Honestly, like it gives me, I'm versatile now, like I don't know what
Okay.
I might do.
Look at you're unstoppable now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, enjoy your I don't know if I just had breakfast, so I guess enjoy your lunch or breakfast. I don't know.
Breakfast.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
well,
It
you
was
have
so
a good
nice
day.
meeting you. Thank you for
Bye.
this time. Bye.